My friends. Uh, so I'm making this series of videos here about different kinds of yogis, different kinds of meditation masters in the different traditions, Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, whatever, but emphasizing particularly the yogic approach to meditation, which I think in many ways is the most universal and scientific because it's in a way the original. You go way back to the Vedic tradition, you go way back to 3,500 years before Christ with Krishna himself, and it's quite explicit in the Bhagavad Gita that he was teaching a form of pranayama, life force control, Kriya Yoga, as expounded by Vyasa, who recorded the Bhagavad Gita, and then Paramahansa Yogananda and a number of others who explicated the particulars of that yogic science in a way that is truly scientific, mathematically precise, and completely comprehensible. He made it comprehensible to us, to people living in the 20th, 21st centuries who have access to the writings of Paramahansa Yogananda and others that make this science very, very clear. So if we look at these different yogis, we talked so far about one American yogi. We started with James J. Lin, who was a millionaire, but also very, very soft-hearted, became the president of SRF. We talked about Yogananda, who taught him. And this time I want to talk about another yogi, in this case Babaji, kind of branching the interest in the West and the interest in the East. So we have James J. Lin, we have Yogananda in the middle, now Babaji. So Babaji is a mystic yogi, a really incredibly powerful yogi who is venerated in many different traditions. Certainly Christians that have read about him recognize his profound yogic achievements, and those have been expounded in Autobiography of Yogi and many, many other sources by now. But it came to the West with Yogananda in the 1920s when he came to speak at a congregation of religious liberals in Boston in 1920 after arriving by ship in Boston Harbor. So he speaks about Babaji in Autobiography of a Yogi and tells us Babaji is a real personage, is a real entity, a real human being, and as mythical as his achievements are, somewhat like Christ and Krishna, he still has this incredible love, this incredible affection for humanity, and talks about his great interest in the West, where we're beginning to catch on to the fact that yoga is more than just stretches, isn't it? It's a science, a very, very hard science, a harder science even than it makes particle physics and quantum mechanics look theoretical.